Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on African countries to unite and take a leading role in shaping the global digital agenda, urging the continent to move beyond being a consumer of technology. Speaking at the 7th Ordinary Section of the African Telecommunication Union Conference of Plenipotentiaries in Abuja, he said Africa must speak with one voice on digital governance and innovation. Shettima stressed that decisions affecting Africa's digital future should no longer be taken without meaningful representation from the continent. The Senate has warned ministries, departments, and agencies that the continued refusal to honor invitations from the National Assembly will attract constitutional sanctions. Lawmakers reaffirmed the oversight power under the 1999 Constitution and directed all government agencies to appear before Senate committee whenever invited. The Senate also asked the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the head of civil service and supervising ministries to ensure full compliance by agencies under their supervision. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has sentenced 3 kidnappers linked to the abduction of school children and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State to life imprisonment. Justice Salim Ibrahim handed down the sentence after the 3 defendants pleaded guilty to terrorism-related charges brought against them. The court ordered that the life sentence takes effect from the date of their arrest. The convicts are Abdul Razak Umar, also known as Abu Khalifa or Abu Khalid, Yunusa Musa, also known as Yunusa bin Musa, and Shamsu Adamu Sani, also known as Abu Itisa. The judgment marks another significant victory in the federal government's ongoing crackdown on kidnapping, terrorism, and other violent crimes across the country, reinforcing the resolve of security agencies and the judiciary to hold perpetrators accountable. Inspector General of Police Olatunji Disu has assured residents in Benue State that criminal elements will fare intensified police operations until lasting peace is restored. The IGP, who gave the assurance during a town hall meeting with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and security stakeholders in Makurdi, declared all-out offensive against insecurity in the state. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere will bring details in our subsequent bulletin. The federal government has taken a major step towards transforming Nigeria's agricultural sector with the formal receipt of the final report for the $500 million World Bank-backed Sustainable Agricultural Value Chain for Growth Program, AGRO, cleaning the way for full implementation. Vice President Kashim Shettima, while receiving the report at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, described the development as the successful completion of the program's design phase and the beginning of implementation. Kikelomo Okere has the details.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says the Agro initiative was designed to place farmers at the center of the national economic planning by strengthening agricultural productivity, improving infrastructure, expanding extension services, and boosting market access. The Vice President noted that agriculture contributes about 23% of the Nigerian gross domestic product and provides livelihood for 34% of the country's workforce, making investment in the sector critical to economic growth.
The program is designed to make agricultural markets work better. About 88% of our farmers operate as small family farmers. We cannot transform agriculture while millions of them remain isolated from finance.
The Vice President further disclosed that $355 million, representing 71% of the program's funding, will be implemented directly by participating states to ensure projects are delivered to farming communities.
This rightly places state governments at the center of delivery, because agriculture ultimately takes place within our communities, local government areas and states.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, assured that the ministry was ready to commence the next phase of the project, including financing agreements and other implementation processes in line with the Renewed Hope agenda.
Project would maybe would be investments of in excess of probably 10 times what is available now. So we're looking at about almost $5 billion at the end of the day.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule said the implementation framework was shaped by the key challenges across the country's agroecological zones, taking into account each state's comparative advantage.
Happy that we are here to partner with the federal government and the World Bank on this issue of Mr. President's food security, and that's why
the Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Agriculture, Ayo Shotin, stressed that beyond disbursing funds, the bank is committed to ensuring transparency, accountability, and loan recovery to guarantee the sustainability of the program.
We bring, a catalytic, I'd say, support to the program. As my own minister said, we have $500 million currently. Our job is to mobilize more capital and also unlock, funding from other development partners who want to co-fund.
Speaking on behalf of the National Technical Working Group on Agro Program, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Agro-Industrialization, Enugu State, Patrick Nwabuisi, says the program was designed to strengthen agricultural productivity and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's food security agenda.
So definitely the implementation, if followed with the recommendation from the National Working Group, then it will see the light of the day and our farmers will be, happy.
As implementation begins, expectations are high that the $500 million agro program will drive agricultural productivity, create jobs, improve food security, and accelerate Nigeria's journey towards a more resilient and diversified economy. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global TV News.
The Nigerian Governors Forum, in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Bank, and had resolved to save lives Nigeria, has unveiled a health security scorecard to strengthen the monitoring of states' preparedness for infectious disease outbreak and other public health emergencies. The scorecard was unveiled during a health security scorecard validation workshop in Abuja, where health experts and development partners described the initiative as a critical tool for addressing gaps in state-level health security system and driving evidence-based interventions. Speaking at the workshop, the Executive Director of Program Partnership at the Forum Secretariat, Dr. Ahmed Abdul Wahab, says the initiative was designed to establish a unified framework for evaluating health security governance across the 36 states. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, has uncovered more than 740 million naira and 203 financial transactions in two of its bank accounts, allegedly linked to the tenure of its former national chairman, Shehu Musa Gaban. Addressing journalists at the party's national secretariat in Abuja, SDP National Chairman Professor Sadiq Umar said the discovery followed an internal investigation to ensure transparency and accountability ahead of the 2027 general election. Ubong Usoro reports.
SDP National Chairman Professor Sadiq Umar said an investigative panel discovered more than 740 million naira in the party's accounts with Zenith Bank and First Bank, contrary to the 32 million he said was declared by the former leadership. According to him, the investigation also uncovered 203 transactions carried out within 1 year, with several payments allegedly addressed to former party officials. Professor Umar said the finding prompted the party to institute criminal proceedings against the former national chairman, Shehu Musa Gabam, and other officials over allegations of fraud, criminal conspiracy, theft, and misappropriation of party funds.
Like before me here, this is one of the issues that grained us back and did not allow the court to continue in earnest to be able to finish the prosecution. This is a Zenith Bank account statement. Shehu Musa Gabam, the expelled national chairman, was a signatory to this account. So we did everything humanly possible as a political party to get the statement of account.
The SDP chairman also maintained that the current National Working Committee remains the authentic leadership of the party, saying both the courts and the Independent National Electoral Commission have recognized the present leadership. He added that the party has successfully conducted its primaries and has commenced uploading candidates for the 2027 general elections to the INEC portal.
The party primaries took place across the 36 states of the country and the FCT, and the national conventions by most of the parties to elect the presidential candidate of the party, the governors or governorship candidates, the 100 senatorial candidates, the 360 Federal House of Representative candidates, and the 993 State Assembly candidates.
He also confirmed that the Federal High Court has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to restore the SDP governorship candidates in Osun State. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast. Plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
You're welcome. If yesterday's rain caught you by surprise, you're certainly not alone. Much of the country experienced widespread rainfall, leaving behind cooler temperatures and refreshing conditions in many areas. Now for Friday, while few places will enjoy some dry spells, the atmosphere remains favorable for more showers and thunderstorms. The northeast will be mostly partly cloudy, with only a few chances of rains over parts of Taraba State. Over the northwest, expect thunderstorms to kick off the day, bringing moderate rainfall to parts of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, some parts of Kano, Katsina, and Kaduna. Across the north central, the morning begins with thunderstorms over Niger, Kwara, and the Federal Capital Territory before the rains begin to spread across Nasarawa, Benue, and parts of Kogi, and also nearby areas as the day progresses. In the south, it's another mostly quiet day. Light showers are possible early over Oyo and the south-south region, while by afternoon, rainfall becomes more widespread across the south-south, the southeast, and much of the southwestern coast. That's your weather outlook for Friday. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that break. Now in business. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has resumed the sale of petrol in Naira after ending its temporary dollar pricing regime, while raising its depart price for 140 Naira per litre. The refinery increased the gantry price from 1,075 to 1,215 per litre with immediate effect, while the coastal loading price was allowed also adjusted upward. The development comes a week after the refinery suspended Naira transaction, a move that disrupted supplies and triggered a sharp increase in depot prices nationwide. The Nigerian Customs Service said it will soon begin 100% scanning of cargoes imported into the country through the Onne port in Rivers State. The National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Mewada, disclosed this at a news conference in Port Harcourt. Mayweather disclosed that the move is to tighten surveillance and track dangerous cargo, including arms and ammunition, as well as pharmaceutical products being smuggled into the country. And now on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump says Saudi Arabia must recognize Israel before Washington approves a civilian nuclear cooperation agreement with the Gulf Kingdom. Trump said the proposed deal would permit only non-military nuclear activities and remains conditional on Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords. Riyadh has maintained that it will not establish diplomatic relations with Israel without the creation of independent Palestinian state. The United Kingdom has called for the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, warning that continued destruction to one of the world's busiest oil shipping routes could worsen the global cost of living crisis. Britain's Foreign Secretary Ed Miliband made the remark on the sideline of the ASEAN Summit in Manila, Philippines. Ogochukwu Mobno has the details.
Britain's new Foreign Secretary, Ed Miliband, has identified stability in the Middle East as a key priority for the new UK government, stressing that restoring normal shipping through the Strait of Hormuz is vital to easing pressure on global energy prices and reducing the rising cost of living. Speaking during the ASEAN Summit in Manila, Miliband says reopening the strategic waterways remain critical to the global economic stability as tensions linked to the Iran conflict continue to threaten international oil supplies. The Foreign Secretary also reaffirms Britain's commitment to supporting Ukraine against what he described as Russian aggression, while calling for intensified international efforts to ease the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
I'm here working on making sure that we can get the Strait of Hormuz fully open and return to a lasting and enduring ceasefire. I've also been discussing with my counterparts important other issues, including the UK's determination to stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Ukraine against Russian aggression and to relieve the suffering of the people of Gaza.
The ASEAN Summit marks Miliband's first major international engagement since his appointment to the cabinet of Prime Minister Andy Burnham, as the new British government seeks to strengthen diplomatic ties and address pressing global security and economic challenges. Ogochukwu Mobno for Global TV News.
Thank you, Ogochukwu Mobno, for that report. And more foreign stories. Meanwhile, Britain's new Prime Minister Andy Burnham has unveiled his first major cost of living measures, introducing a nationwide cap on bus fares and a tax cut on household electricity bills, as his government moved to ease the pressure on struggling families. Burnham made the announcement in the city of Bath just days after taking office, while insisting that decisions on any future tax increases would be made during the government's next budget. Mukhtar Kasim reports.
Move after assuming office, Britain's new Prime Minister Andy Burnham is placing the cost of living at the center of his government agenda. Speaking in Bath, Burnham announced a £2 cap on single bus fares and confirmed a value-added tax on household electricity bills would be removed from October, describing the measures as the first step towards easing pressure on working families.
This week, the three policies I've announced, ending rough sleeping, the bus cap we're announcing today, and the removal of VAT off electricity bills are all fully funded. And that's the way I will go. And people will say, well, how? I've reprioritised. The public's priority is reducing cost of living pressures. And that's what I'm doing.
The announcement came after official figures showed Britain's annual inflation rate slowed to 2.6% in June, largely driven by lower fuel prices, given the new administration an early economic boost, despite speculations over possible tax increases. Burnham said his immediate focus is on reprioritizing government spending, maintaining that all newly announced policies are fully funded.
It'll take decisions on tax at the budget. This is about reprioritising in this phase. As I say, going to the public's priorities, the cost of living crisis, the housing crisis. How much longer are we going to talk about these things without actually doing something to help people? And already in the space of a few days, I've made a number of moves that will deal with some of these challenges, although I appreciate there's a lot more to do.
Government officials say reducing the cost of living will remain their top priority, although economists have warned that renewed tensions in the Middle East and rising oil prices could push inflation higher again in the months ahead. The Burnham administration says further economic measures will be outlined when it presents its first national budget later this year.
Mukhtar Qasim, Global TV News.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has welcomed the European Union's latest sanction package against Russia, describing it as a strong demonstration of Europe's continued support for Ukraine. President Zelensky made the remark during a joint news conference with Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin. Global TV Foreign Affairs correspondent has details. Ukraine is pressing for tougher international action against Russia as President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the European Union's latest round of sanctions aimed at increasing pressure on Moscow. Speaking alongside Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin, Zelensky expressed his gratitude to European leaders for their unwavering support, saying the new measures reinforce Europe's commitment to Ukraine's defense. He also says Prime Minister Martin, whose country currently holds the European Union's rotating presidency, has pledged to work with member states on an additional package of sanctions against Russia. The Ukrainian president further warns that Russia is escalating attacks on Ukraine's Black Sea ports and shipping routes, threatening regional security and global trade. In his remark, Prime Minister Martin addresses an ongoing Irish investigation into exports from a Russian-owned alumina plant in Ireland. He maintains that the material has never been sanctioned by the European Union and says investigators have found no evidence linking shipments from the facility to Russia's weapons industry.
The European Commission never put forward alumina as a sanctioned product. Our investigation is almost complete. The investigation has not found concrete or definitive evidence linking the alumina to a weapons manufacturer in Russia.
The meeting underscores continued European backing for Ukraine, with leaders reaffirming their commitment to sustaining diplomatic, economic, and security pressure on Moscow. Ramsey Enoch, Global TV News. Now to the world of sport. Team Nigeria is set to begin its campaign at the 23rd Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, as the multi-sport event officially opens today with athletes from across the Commonwealth. Nigeria's 74th member team have arrived in Scotland ahead of the competition and will be among the delegation participating in the operating ceremony before contests begin across 10 sports. Officials say the country is aiming to build on its proud Commonwealth Games legacy with a squad featuring experienced champions and emerging talents. FIFA has unveiled its official team of the tournament for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with champion Spain providing 3 players in the best 11. The side also include Argentina's captain Lionel Messi, France star Kylian Mbappe, and Michael Olise. England midfielder Jovan Bellingham, Norway striker Erling Haaland, and Cape Verde goalkeeper Wazita. The election recognizes the standout performance of the tournament with players drawn from 7 different nations. And that's it on News Cycle. Here is a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen. using at Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thanks for watching.